Hello, so I am wanting to do another reading, fine-tune reading, deep dive on the Elizabeth Barraza case. Boy, they're right. Once you scratch the surface of this case, you can't stand that it's because it feels, you just know it's so solvable. So again, if you haven't and aren't familiar, I always multitask. You're sitting there going, Maya, can you just stop what you're doing? Everyone, even Bear the cat gets on to me. I'm just trying to set up the lights so that they stay. And don't start going flashing, I have to get the right pattern set up. Alright, so moose, squirrel, shiny things. Definitely going to use that deck. We're going to read on Elizabeth Barraza again, her unsolved murder case. We're going to put on our sleuth helmets. Those of us that want to switch from our political stuff, we're now going to put on our entertainment purposes, of course, only. Use of the tarot and symbology. And I do not make light at all of this woman's passing. I hope that by some means this might jog someone's memory or be helpful in some way that I can't even fathom. So it's always good to get the word out and to keep the memory and the story alive. So I always think it's good to cover cases. Of course, we want to try to be as thoughtful and mindful to the loved ones that have to read these things. And I try to think about that. I'm not perfect, but... So I'm going to use also the Aquarian Tarot. It is one of the coolest retro decks still being printed out there. I highly recommend. And it comes if you can get it in the 10, look for the 10. It's not terribly expensive. That's what's really cool. It's a good deck. It's good quality and good bang for the buck. And you can it's not terribly expensive if you get the smaller one. See, just perfect for I'm like, petite, so. Or if you have arthritis too, and just a great little deck. Again, that's the Aquarian, and it's so cool, the tin. I got this one, I think, off Amazon, but I'm trying to use Amazon less and go to indie shop, small mom and pop shops. And Etsy is great for that. So, anyway. Isn't that cool? Love this. Love this deck. Let's take a look. Now, I don't know Elizabeth's birthday. All I know, I did do a little research, basic, things that you need to know. That she was married for 5 years at the point in 2000. It was going to be her 5th wedding anniversary in 2019. Her husband and her looked like they were living in a pretty darn nice house. She was going to have a garage sale to raise money to use for celebrating their 5th wedding anniversary. And so there's footage of this. It's sad to watch. It isn't up close. If you want to watch it or not, it's up to you. It's out there. But it's more like surveillance footage, it's... But somebody, you can very clearly tell, meant it wasn't robbery. This was personal. And so I was right about that. I read this after I did the first bit of reading that you're going to see. And I'm just going to, this I'm just going to show you how you can read on these cases also for yourself, for those of you that are interested. So it's always good to do, I believe, more than one reading. I don't think that you want to do like a gazillion, but you'll know when you need to put it down. And if you're not putting it down, then put the cards away. You maybe need to try them another time when you can be more disciplined. And that can be hard. But you'll know that you'll get a tighter story, and you'll be able to use an independent source such as a newspaper and say, okay, that lines up with what I was picking up. This gives me a little more context. Do one more reading. That was a pop outside. Speaking of crime, I'm giving myself the heebie-jeebies. So we want to look at Elizabeth. She had just been married for 5 years to Sergio, her husband. I don't know anything about them or their relationship. He had just left for work, and by the looks of the surveillance, it's obvious that, and police agree, that whoever it was that rolled up in a dark, I believe it was truck or vehicle, gets out. They're wearing some sort of a long coat, and it does. It looks like it's some sort of attempt to disguise. And I think you can tell that she's kind of looking as watching as this person's approaching her. And the feeling that I got was she's probably, the getup is initially throwing her off. She's wondering, who the hell is that? And I think as they get closer, she's recognizing who it is. And I believe that that is definitely evident. And police agree with my assumption. I thought that at first, and then when I found the brief outline of what happened with this woman's case, I was able to see, okay, well, that tracks. That's why I said that. I am not proud, believe you me. Not too proud, anyway. I'm sure there's some in there. Let's be honest. We all are a little bit. But no, it was just weird. You can see it. I watched the video footage, and you can just tell it was not a robbery. Somebody wanted her. It was hatred. Its purpose was maliciousness anyway. To kill her. It wasn't to scare her. It wasn't to. You can tell. And the word was that this vehicle had been kind of seen scouting around the neighborhood the night before. This garage sale was not published in any public notification. Nobody, it was only word of mouth and by family, co-workers, and friends. So definitely also again lines up with somebody knew that she would be setting up for that, what time. They were casing, actively figuring out, it sounds like, a dry run the night before. It reminds me of that Chad and Lori Daybell case where Chad's wife was had the dry run before she mysteriously passed, of someone that she thought was trying to shoot her with a paintball gun. Just kind of had that feeling, like, now this person knew her. So I want to look again. I'm going to use the Aquarian Tarot. And just to refamiliarize you a little bit with what was said of Elizabeth, was that she was very big into trying to be helpful, into charitable work, and known to be a real nurturer, a positive person. That's about it. But big on community. You know, it's sad because we need more people like this. We need more people so that our communities are better. But somebody clearly was PO'd at her. So let's take a look. Why was Elizabeth, I got a mouthful of marbles now, all these readings, but I still, my energy's good, but my tongue, when I flip on the camera, it's tied. Or I might as well put a bunch of marbles in my mouth. All right, on a more somber note, let's take a look at Elizabeth and why this person did this. It was clearly an act that's by somebody that wanted her dead. And why? Who wanted her dead and why? That would be the best. This is how I have to myself boil down a question. Who wanted Elizabeth dead and why? Who did this to her? Who rolled up in that long coat or whatever they were wearing, spoke with her, and shot her? Who was that? Why? Speak to us on that. I ask Spirit and the ancestors and the Creator to help me be clear as possible in reading these symbols and using my intuition. Why? Broken heart. This kind of goes with what I got before. I feel like this was a relationship where someone was very angry with her, and it's personal. Now, this person may have been jealous of her. It could have been, who knows, maybe an ex of her husband's that didn't like her and didn't like her attitude, was very threatened, maybe even. Somebody was threatened by her. There was heartbreak through her, and they felt, what I'm getting empathetically here through this card, is that they were beyond caring, that they felt that she had hurt them so deeply that she deserved this. That there was some kind of break in a relationship, If we get other cards that indicate relationship, I think we'll see that. It could be illness, but let's just see how the story is going to come. I think we're going more with a personal relationship issue. Yeah. From the past, okay, we get that again. That this is nostalgic. There is a past. This is a past relationship where there was cheating, I think, or some kind of somebody she may have dated in the past. They may have cheated on her, or she may have broken off with them because they cheated on her. I don't know, but I feel like they never maybe really let her go. There is a past. And the Six of Cups is about past, nostalgia, sometimes children. But to me it looks like a past relationship. I mean, she's been married for 5 years. Who is... Somebody is holding a grudge. And here we get the Knight of Cups. Now, I think Elizabeth wasn't terribly old herself. If I'm correct, I would say she was maybe in her late 20s. Maybe I thought I saw 27, but don't quote me on that. And there's the Chariot. There's the vehicle. Here's a person coming out, making the approach. This is definitely also about feelings. This person feels like they had the victory with that Chariot. They got away with it. And look at this. I didn't even... Wow, it just popped out at me. Look at the cup. Maybe it's just because my glasses need a good wipe. Okay, that's part of it. But just when I glance, the redness around the rim. And they always say when you're learning the tarot about the Knight, that the Knight can either be offering you something that is alluring in a good way, or it can be alluring with a really like a trap. So it can have a negative connotation as well. But there's, again, there is an emotive aspect that someone feels they have won some kind of emotionally based issue within a relationship in the past. So stupid. Fool. Yes, apparently the cards agree. This could be back taking, number one, the Fool is always about taking high risks. Sometimes it's a good idea to take that chance, but mindfully. You don't want to just always be throwing caution into the wind. The Fool is also falling, if you notice, under the Three of Swords. It's making me feel like this is a young energy or a younger relationship, maybe a relationship that she was involved in, or her husband perhaps, before they were married to one another. I don't know anything about her husband's past. I don't know if he was, had children with anybody else, or, what the case was. Here we get a Queen of Swords next to the Fool card. And they did say in some cases that they thought that the person could have been a woman, although could have been because of clearly the disguise. It wasn't in the fact that it was not completely light. It was just hard to make out whether this was someone that was actually a woman, you know, or just trying to throw off with disguise. Definitely, regardless, disguise was utilized. And this would indicate a woman who I feel like has connection to her past. She may not like the fact. Now, the one little bit of information I did pick up was I think that they had a child. But it didn't seem to me like if the child or their children would have been very old. I thought that I read like there may have been a child. So if there was, all I can say, or children, maybe a couple of them, is that this may have been a sore point for someone else, maybe another woman, who may have been friends or may have known maybe even her husband, for all I know. We get Judgment. And we get the King of Swords. I believe that I believe that they're going to figure out who it was. And I can see that they've got, I can feel that they've got persons of interest, past love interests. This is personal. And there's an aspect of nostalgia and children, the past, that seems to be the emotional bond that she had with someone. And when I look at the Chariot, this could have been they approached asking her something, or I don't know, here with the car. But I definitely feel like this is somebody from one of the two of, I'd say either her or her husband's past. I'm getting a woman. I do get a male card here. I don't know. This could be somebody that was driving the vehicle, maybe an accomplice. Could be a man and a woman that were involved. Maybe the male was the driver. But I definitely get a man and a woman. Yeah, they're going to be exposed. This is a relationship. I don't know if there was ever, something that shouldn't have been going on somewhere, or what. If somebody may have had was jealous of their relationship. Definitely a feeling of jealousy. Where a woman is willing to risk where someone is willing to take a high risk with regard to a woman, if it isn't her doing this herself, a female here. But I tend to think it's a female involved here. And I feel like somebody may recognize or realize who that was. Yeah. There's a sense of bragging too here with that Six of Wands. Maybe a woman of the connected to, like I'm saying, either Sergio's or Elizabeth's past, that I think may brag about it and reveal themselves as connected. Here's another Queen of Pentacles. Now, I don't know if this was Elizabeth. I don't know her birthday. It wouldn't surprise me. But being somebody that was, maybe mindful of her possessions or money or this kind of thing, she could be an earth sign. She was having the garage sale, but that might be a bit of a reach. And look, there's the Tower. So there's something yet. I believe the vehicle, a male, the vehicle is connected to a male, and I feel like that will, in the relatively near future, on the horizon, there's going to be big changes with regard to this case. I believe that they will be able to figure out the identities of a woman and a man that figure into her death. Don't know. Like I said, I need to go back and look at the footage. I don't know if the person that got out of this vehicle and shot her, I don't know if they were driving or if it looks like they got out of a passenger side. I'll have to look at that more closely. So that's possible that the King of Swords could be someone that drove, and that may come forward, or who may draw attention to the fact that they did. I see some bragging, honestly, around this woman who she feels got away with it, took this risk. It's foolish enough, though, also to brag about. She just cannot keep her mouth shut about it. I think there's a wanting people to know that she did this, because she's just that, she feels like this woman had it coming. I don't know if somebody messed around with somebody's spouse or loved one. I don't even want to go in that territory. But what I can tell you is that there's deeply this broken heart or relationship from the past. From the past. So I don't feel like this was that the person actively involved in this. I feel like this is somebody that she may have known before she met her husband, or connected to, or this was someone connected to him, quite possibly. But regardless, you're dealing with somebody feeling heartbroken, somebody feeling like they had to feel like they won. I mean, I don't know what they think they're winning. Now, I did always consider the husband. I don't know what to make of Sergio. I haven't really read that much on him. One of his comments was that instead of celebrating his 5th wedding anniversary, he would be using the, I think, garage sale. Now, I don't know if I'm sure they didn't go ahead and have it, but he would be spending it, burying her rather than on an anniversary with her. So, terribly sad. And that was December, I believe, was it 19th? No, it was 2019, and it was in January of 2019. Okay. But here I feel like there's something to do with the vehicle and a male. I don't know if, I think they're able to figure out who owned the vehicle or who. There's something sudden there. And it could be that someone finds out and they come forward with the information. And part of it might be, like I'm saying, they know somebody that drives this vehicle or that vehicle. It might be a vehicle-oriented link that they make back to this murder. But I also feel like somebody's bragged about killing her. They just cannot, they want certain people, I feel like, to know that they got away, that she didn't get away with doing something to them, or basically along those lines. This person that did this feels like she betrayed them in some way. And I'm not getting cards here that feel heavily sexual. It doesn't even have to be based on a sexual relationship. It could have been a friendship from the past. For all I know, with the vehicle, did she used to give somebody a lift to work and had a falling out? But there's a woman that takes a high risk here based on hurt feelings from the past. And she feels quite she reveals herself. I mean, there's a certain degree of pride in it. She thinks she's, tough or badass or something stupid along those lines. She will be exposed, however. But my feeling is I don't think she's terribly apologetic. I think she still thinks that Elizabeth got what she deserved. There's a great deal of anger, and this person feels like betrayed, brokenhearted, deep pain, and I think that's what made them feel like getting even. This betrayal, like I said, it doesn't have to be always something like of a sexual nature. It can be a friendship or that fails too, where someone feels really betrayed. Possibly because there is the nostalgia card, I will mention family. Oh, possibly a family member. I don't know. Or a friend. It's hard for me to tell completely. But definitely I get a man and a woman will be significant in this case. And I feel like maybe there will be a male in connection to the vehicle coming forward about this woman and doing this. And I would say that he may end up indicating that she had a very cavalier attitude about it afterward, feeling like she was, on a very high horse kick after she did it. She really felt like she accomplished something. Like it was a victory won. She got her own back. And took this woman off guard. I'm feeling more and more like this is Elizabeth being taken off guard and, disaster, loss of her life, end of her life, and being judged by another individual. And I think a female. Possibly a male, but maybe more in connection to a male. I can only say I think that somebody's going to speak and come forward about what they know and what in regards that somebody knows, and I feel like they may find out if there was somebody driving this person, that it was two people, and quite possibly male, female. Like I said, it shows as significant. This female taking a high risk. And feeling like she won, that she got somebody back for something in the past. That happened in the past, definitely. And we have the Magician and the Wheel of Fortune. I believe that someone may have felt that she manipulated them and that it affected their life significantly. It created a significant change in their life in a huge way. I don't quite fully understand that, but it seems to be how they think. But now what they've done, I think they think that they can get out of it. I think they can change the course of their fate. There is uncertainty and there is darkness in what they did. And that expands I think the severity, the length of the crime, the conditions. Definitely done in a clandestine manner. And I really see that it looks like it's fairly petty. Someone's felt that that she betrayed them in some way in the past, and that they had to get back at her for their own sense of well-being, and they will not fully get away with it. They will be exposed. I think someone's going to come forward that has overheard the bragging about those involved. Yeah, the 9 of Rods. And then it's going to go to the 10. It's going to become harder for them to, I think, keep out to hide and to stay off the radar. I think somebody's going to come forward. They might try to go off the radar and hide, and it's just going to get harder and harder. It becomes an anchor around them. So it makes me wonder, is this someone that will end up turning themselves in? We have an Emperor and the Lovers. And this feels like there could be a father figure that or authority figure that may make an appeal or a deal, or they might seek to try to make a deal with authorities, with the Emperor card, by coming forward or by turning themselves in. I'm kind of getting that kind of a vibe, but definitely looking to try to make a deal. I think they're also very selfish person. They are feeling just more and more into a corner, less and less free. So I think they're doing it for their own, just because they are tired. But they're looking to see if they can't get a deal. Knight of Rods and the Empress. Okay. So again, we're dealing with that very feminine energy. I don't know if this is somebody that was jealous about her, and I don't know if she was jealous that she was having children with this man, or somehow that it kind of feels like there's a child part of this that kind of might be an issue, motherhood and fertility. Let's see, now that is the Knight. Yeah. So it's like the energy is excited or invested in and around the aspect of the fecundity of motherhood, and having that kind of role in life. And I just see somebody in the past here, and there's children. They're not. They just feel betrayed. I'm not sure why. I don't think any reason that they have is good enough. King of Rods and Seven of Rods. So I see a man here who's in position to defend, trying to defend himself. Six of Swords, moving on. Seven. This is that feeling of ambush. So I feel like they're going around. There's definitely the vehicle aspect of them going around in that. That's picking up. This is somebody that knows her, that has a connection to the past, either her or her husband. Definitely was hurt. And it seems like by her succeeding or I think getting on with her life, where she's got a marriage and a child and you know, good things going. It's like this person's jealous of that, and maybe in particularly jealous of the motherhood aspect, which is disturbing. I don't know if this is someone that was a friend of hers, like I said, or maybe someone who was interested in her husband that had dated him, or what, or frankly a sibling or a relation. I don't know. I don't have those answers, but I feel that this was definitely somebody, yes, who had a past with her or him, and there was an issue that they wanted to take their anger out, not on him, but on her. So and the first card that I got, I get two female cards and I get some male cards, but I feel like this was a woman, or based on also maternal issues and having, I think, more in her life, someone being very jealous, very, very jealous, and somebody with the connection to their past. So, long reading, but there we go. That's on Elizabeth. What is it? But I'm sorry, I don't want to say it wrong. Barraza, her case, out of Texas. Leave your comments, if you're still awake, in the comment area below. Put a fork in me, I'm done for readings for a day or so. Anyway, if you enjoyed the content, please like and subscribe and share. Thank you very much.